Welcome back, Alphas. Aere here for your Monday update. That's right, we do these every single day. Market bleeding. It is going to be a very, very spicy week this week. This week is not going to be for the faint of heart. We're going to try to dissect it a little bit. A sea of red. Bitcoin down right now, 3.3%. We finally broke the range. We broke it to the downside, as I have been saying this entire time. We started off from about 30,000 to 31K range, dropped it to a little bit of a lower range, like 30,000 to 3,400. And finally, we have lost it, wicking into the liquidity sitting at 29,000. We are sitting thick. I mean, just look at this liquidity sitting at 28,500, 28,000, looking prime for the picking. On top of that, we have FOMC this week. We get GDP coming out, job numbers, PCE, we get inflation numbers. It's going to be a spicy week. I promise you. We're going to cover that. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to dive into some altcoins. Brian, I got you on Starknet today. If you guys want anything specifically TA'd or explained or indicators or whatever, drop it in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to explain it for you in tomorrow's video. If you want it sooner than that, discord.gg/alphaair. Hop on in. Give me a chance. We're building a community here. Last but not least, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on notifications. Analytics say like 99% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. What am I doing wrong? Give me a chance. Let's just jump into it. We're going to cover some news items today. Obviously the charts, look at crypto Twitter, and then just kind of get you caught up. It's going to be a crazy week, like I said, so buckle up. So let's just dive right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the economic calendar. So this week, not much going on today and tomorrow. So you could get some shenanigans, right? You know, everyone says false move Monday, you get some false moves on Monday, kind of rattle the markets before you fall in line. This week, though, I don't know. So on Wednesday at 2 o'clock p.m., and I will bring this live to you guys, we get the FOMC decision, we get the interest rate policy hike. The market, almost 99% of the market pricing in a 25 basis points increase. Fed Chair Powell press conference coming in at 2:30 p.m., so 30 minutes after. So typically what happens is a couple minutes before the interest rate decision, price shoots up, quarter to 0.5%. Then it shoots down. So you grab the liquidity up, grab the liquidity below us, and then typically it falls kind of right back in line, and that's where the real movement starts to happen. On Thursday, we get GDP, initial jobless claims, and then on Friday we get the PCE index. We get and personal income as well, which is not a huge deal, but PCE, core PCE, personal consumption, expenditures index, right? So inflation numbers. It's going to be a spicy week, guys. I promise you. And it already has started with Bitcoin basically tanking overnight, Asian hours. I mean, at about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, kind of tanked. We flagged out. I tossed it in Discord. I said, hey, we're flagging out. We're going to come down, tap some of this liquidity down here. And we did. So now what are we going to do? We're going to hop into it today, but I want you to be aware of those numbers that are coming out. It's going to get spicy. So the big news is Elon Musk is rebranding Twitter as X.com. He alluded to this a long time ago. He's trying to make an X app, the everything app. And here you go. I mean, he is starting it. It is starting to take over. Doge has pumped as a result. There's their little logo here. As you can see up here, the Twitter logo has already changed. They already changed the organization. Our headquarters tonight, he was broadcasting the X logo on there, and then some SpaceX stuff, right? SpaceX, X. I mean, you kind of get where he's going with this. Dogecoin pumped its face off, right? I mean, look at that, just 4-hour candle there. What's a 1-hour candle? I mean, it pumped hard, it pumped, basically 10% on that announcement, kind of retracing half of that since. I mean, the entire market's down, right? We just look at Reddit Moon's down 23%. A lot of this stuff is rumors right now. There's a lot of crypto influencers saying that, Twitter's going to accept and have its own wallet. And they did file for that, by the way. So it's probably coming. But there's a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations going around. Just remember, unless you hear it from the horse's mouth, just kind of hold your horses. But do expect Doge to pump. Probably maybe some other coins as well in there, but Doge will definitely pump based off of this news. So we all know he supports Dogecoin, love it or hate it. Dogecoin market volume reaches 16.29 billion. So it did take off as a result. Over the last 30 days, Dogecoin has seen a surge of nearly 10%, including a 1.3% rise in the preceding week alone. So just A lot of people, and we will take a look at the Dogecoin charts later on in the video. So you guys got to remember, so the SEC is still suing Binance for violations of various security laws. So part of the lawsuit alleges and has accused the exchange of wash trading. It's claimed that one notable wash trader on the site was market maker Sigma Chain, a trade firm owned and controlled by Binance CEOs CZ. They also said that they trade against their customers. Now let's just table Binance for a second. If you don't think there are other FTXs out there, and again, I'm not talking Binance, I'm just saying generally speaking, if you don't think there are other exchanges out there trading against you and doing shady shit, you are incredibly misinformed, because FTX was not just an oddity. It was not just a one-off, right? I'm not saying Binance is, or saying that they are or aren't, right? I'm just saying, read between the lines there. But they're firing back, saying it's all BS. CZ out here doing more FUD damage control. Binance CEOs allegedly admits these trading activities came from them and says that was ourself, I think, in the message. And this is coming from internal messaging that the SEC got. So what do you do with that? Some of you guys probably don't know where I stand on Ethereum. I'm not a huge fan of Ethereum. So Vitalik came out. He's getting dragged right now. So he shared an anecdote about buying coffee with Ethereum. Now, obviously, given the gas prices, your coffee would be considered pretty damn expensive. Critics responded saying Ethereum falls short as a payment chain. It 100% does. They're actually working to address problems related to cost and scalability. Clearly ultrasound payments, right? Blockchains are physically constrained. If blocks were arbitrarily big, the blockchain could not be decentralized. Smart contract chains are more like cities. If you use this mental models, L1s are no longer mysterious. Ethereum is expensive, congested, slow, and only the wealthy can afford to interact with it anymore. I mean, this is true, guys. Fight me over that. I mean, it's not a good chain. It's amazing to me that it's the number 2 chain right now. Then people can point to L2s and stuff like that. But look, your average person is not going to do that kind of stuff. They're just not. Where Bitcoin would be more Lightning Network, right? I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, I promise you. I mean, even ADA or a lot of these other chains, right? But what do you do with that? What do you do with this information? Like, you cannot go and buy a cup of coffee with Ethereum. The gas alone on it is going to be insane. So again, those are pretty much the big news stories of the day so far. So Elon Musk rebrands Twitter to X. We talked about that. Linda Yaccarino, the new Twitter CEO, chimed in on that. Dow is rising. Stock markets are rising today. Bitcoin's not. I'm telling you, they have decoupled from one another. Spotify increasing prices. So is iPhones on the pros. Stuff's getting more expensive, man. It's tough. It's tough out here. I'm telling you. So crypto wise, again, not much going on. We covered most of the stories. It's a slow start to the week right now, but that's going to change quickly come Wednesday when, all the economic data and numbers start coming in. So I'm going to leave you with that. If anything else breaks off or pops off today, if it's super important, I'll make a video. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep posting it in Discord like I always do. Hop on in discord.gg/alpha-aere. Let's just hop into the charts. Show you guys one of the positions I'm in. So Bitcoin right now, it's a Bitcoin short, 20 times short. It's about $1.45 million deal. Margin on it, 74,000, up about $40,000 right now. In a short, because I knew it was going down. I mean, it's just, from about $30,000 from that kind of tight range that we were in. That's where I'm at. It's working out pretty good. I'm in some other positions and stuff. I'm shorting BNB. But this is just the main one. I shouldn't say main one, but one of the main ones that I am in right now. So I want to update you guys on that. And my point to show you guys this is not to brag. It's to show you that I walk the walk. I'm not out here just drawing up 2 lines on a chart and saying this is what's going to happen. I take my own advice. I mean, I know what I'm. So you know what we do here. Let's start off. Let's see a pop of Bitcoin, because that controls the market. I mean, 100% it does. So, here's what happened earlier this morning, right? Obviously, Asia tanked us. Thanks China. But we started flagging out a little bit. I said, hey, we're coming down even farther. I mean, just it wasn't just looking at the flag, right? But I said we're gonna dip down into this liquidity level. I mean, I said this on Discord, right? Hop on in. I'm telling you, I should be charging money for this. Most influencers charge. This is all free right now. The first 100 active people that join it are going to be grandfathered into any type of payment plan, any type of charge that I do in the future. So get in while the getting's good. Discord.gg/alpha-air. I promise you, if you don't do it now, you're going to be paying for it later, and you're going to want to pay for it later. Rewind to last week's videos. I said we're coming down, right? I said it's the range tightened. 30,000 to 31, 30,000 to 30,400. The momentum wasn't there. Spots are drying up. All the stuff that I painted the picture of. I said if we don't hold 29,500, we're coming down to 29,000. And what happened? We're at 29,000, right? Getting a little bounce off the liquidity that was at 29,000. So we're at 29,100 right now. We blew through the 29,500. You can see that right there on the chart. So what's next, right? Well, 28,500 is next. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if we start getting down there. If the bulls don't defend this, if we don't start seeing some spot buys, the perps pick up, and some slowdown in the sell-offs, it's going to get ugly. And here is why. So what happens right at this green line or gray, whatever, I'm colorblind, this 28,800, whatever color that is, here's what's going to happen. And it's simple. These are liquidations. These are going to get sucked up. We could scoot down to maybe 27,000 pretty quickly. You know, you don't have a whole lot here, but you do have some. I mean, we could just start liquidating these pretty quickly. But that starts a couple $100 away from where we're at right now. And do we see any signals that say we have a strong bullish case right now? No. And I think for a lot of reasons. I don't think you're going to see any kind of strong bullish movement because of all the data that we have coming out next week. So number one, I mean, this is 30-minute chart. It's just perps on this side. This is spot orders on this side, falling off of a cliff on the perps, falling off of a cliff on the spots still. I mean, just look at the large orders, right? It's super heavy. We call them buckets. So these are buckets of orders, right? I mean, just it's so sell side heavy, both on market orders. So large orders, it's $1 million plus. Market orders, 100K plus. TWAP orders, the delta here. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I mean, whales coming down, the long short ratio is coming down, TWAP order CVD was coming up, but it doesn't matter because the whales are the ones that control the market. And this is on the perps, right? So you take a look at the spots. Do we see anything here? Well, it's telling us the same story, right? Now, thankfully, whales stepped in, you know, at about that 28,200-ish level. Thank God they did, right? Because we would have came way down. You know, the money maker spot stepped into spots, and small spots doesn't really matter. But you can see where it was just sell side heavy, dragging down the entire market. So I don't foresee us the rest of the week until Wednesday, till we get to FOMC, doing any kind of giant bullish moves, unless there's just some straight up shenanigans, some spoofing of the order books. You can see it's cleared out. You know what I mean? There's nothing up here anymore. I mean, it's not even, I mean, 31,000, 32,000 is still there, but look how thick it is below us. I mean, this just wants to be grabbed. What I mean by spoofing of the order books is if we start seeing some giant orders get placed and then pulled above us to move up the market, that's what I mean by spoofing, right? It's like they're not necessarily fake orders, they're real orders, but they get pulled to drag liquidity up. That's a whole nother thing. But unless we start seeing this order book turn around, orders come in above us, bulls defend below us, and we see those CVDs, the perps, the spots pick up, basically the money flow increase, it's just more downside. We're bearish. You take a look at the 4-hour chart. I mean, up until 3 o'clock this morning, we were above the 200 moving average. Some of you guys know that this is my main indicator for bullish or bearishness. So when we're above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, price is still bullish. When we're below it, it's bearish. We're below all the moving averages right now. You know, we take a look at the money flow on the 4-hour chart. It's been bleeding, guys. I mean, it's been bleeding since the 17th of July, since Monday the 17th. Stokes and RSIs are coming down. We have bearish divergences. There's your bear div right there. It's playing out currently. VWAP's coming down. It's trying to pull up. As I said, bulls or the large spot orders stepped up, thankfully, and defended that kind of 28,200-ish level. If not, it could have gotten very ugly. But are they going to be there the next time we turn down? or are we just chopping sideways till Wednesday? Both are very, very likely. I don't see any giant bullish movements pre FOMC meeting. Post, it's all going to depend on what the FOMC meeting, what the interest rate, what Powell says, what he sounds like, how GDP comes in at the end of the week. If everything goes perfectly, we could definitely get a bounce to the top side. If he's hawkish, it doesn't come in how we want, it's more downside, guys. And let's just take a look at these key levels, right? So we've cleared out a lot of this. So, I mean, this is not a good sign. So when I'm flipping support to resistance on the chart, that's not a good sign. So this is also, I was just labeled wrong. So here we go. These are your key levels right now. So above us, I guess I can get rid of that one. Above us, like I said, there's not much, but it's 29.5, 30, 35 again, but they're not heavy. They're not thick right now. Below us, 28.5 is coming in now. So let's 28.5, boom, Alt H. That's new, right? 28's not new, but so is, there's so much liquidity. 28.180, 28.180. There's so much liquidity below us. And remember, this stuff acts as magnets. Look at all these lines here that we can go down and tag. And then it's pretty much back to kind of the $500 increments, right? So it's going to get spicy this week, guys. I promise you. So there is some potential here. So for whatever reason, right? Spot's mooning, or open interest is mooning, I should say. So futures both on Binance and Bybit. Mooning right now, so there could be a potential for a big move, another big move. Does it take us up or take us down? I would say what spot does next is going to be very, very important pre-Wednesday. So you can kind of see that visualized here. So this is a free site, Aere.trade. I have my template in Discord. Hop in to grab it. What spots do next is going to be important. You can see they're diverging from one another. So spots coming down, perps are going up. It's that simple. That's what's happening here. So perps are starting to pick up. Spots are coming down. What spots do next is going to dictate where the markets go. So I'm going to leave you with this on Bitcoin. Then we're going to hop into some altcoins. It's going to be a week that probably doesn't make much sense. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. We have lots of economic numbers, lots of data coming out. We were due to break to the downside, probably more downside. That's what the charts would tell me. I wouldn't rule out shenanigans, though. Like I said, this week is not going to be for the faint of heart. I bet you some of these moves are not going to make sense this week. So buckle up. If you aren't an experienced trader or you don't want to gamble, maybe sit this week out and just watch, because it's going to be glorious. But those are the key levels. You're staring at my key levels. Obviously, these are all liquidity levels, previous support, previous resistances. It just looks so heavy below us, guys. So I'm going to put you guys onto something if you don't know what Starknet is. So they've released their token on Ethereum, and it's not available for sale yet. They're still trying to figure out a mechanism for releasing the tokens, selling the tokens, et cetera, et cetera. So if you haven't heard of zkSync, you need to put it in your vocabulary and look into it. So the average daily volume of transactions has soared on the zkSync. The absence of an airdrop could bring down the momentum as users' patience seems to be wearing thin. So daily transactions cross over 1 million. Transactions per second also came out on top, with the testnet seeing more contract deployments. So in a recent post shared with remarkable surge in daily transactions within its network, 1 million, showcasing the platform's popularity. It's a lot. It's a lot of just token farmers, right? Throwing around the mainnet. Still cool to see. But Starknet on there as well. Number 5, it looks like the L2 of the people. zkSync, Aere, Arbitrum, Optimism, Arbitrum Nova, Starknet in there rounding out the 5. I played around the Starknet ecosystem, the ZK ecosystem, quite a bit, just playing around, trying to figure it out. You can farm airdrops. I don't know if it's too late or not. It's been a while since I've looked into it. I can't really TA this one, Brian, because there's no price on it. The tokens haven't been released yet. There's plenty of guides on how you could get in. It's got a big ecosystem, right? A huge ecosystem on Starknet. But I am bullish on this. It's one to pay attention to. The fundamentals are great. The team is great. Starkware Industries, large team out of Israel. Unfortunately, I just can't TA something that the price doesn't exist for, right? But how do we see potential airdrop? Do they have a token? Again, yes, there's the ticker, but they're not up for sale yet. Still determining the mechanism for distributing them. You can use the Argent X wallet to kind of play around in their ecosystem. But it seems good news. Good team of cryptographers. You can mint some NFTs and play around on their on their ecosystem. But it's an up and comer, one that has not fully launched yet. Still kind of in that testnet phase-ish. I believe they do have kind of a mainnet launched yet, or it's coming soon, I should say. I do believe they've started that, but just not much you can do right now. But it is a project that I have been following, Brian. When it gets released, and the token comes out and starts trading and stuff, I will be, up for making another video, I should say. What I will say is this, though. You can love the technology. I'm against, personally, marrying the bag, marrying the coin, marrying the community. I'm in this to make money. That's my goal here. I love crypto. I hope crypto succeeds. However, you take a snapshot of the top 50 coins today, and then you look at that same snapshot 5 years in the past or 5 years in the future, it's going to be completely different. I'm not into holding a bag into the ground. I don't do ICOs. I don't do airdrops. That's a waste of my time personally. I'm not saying it's a waste of your time or someone else's time. But typically when you get a coin that launches with an airdrop behind it, here's what happens to the price, right? The first candle goes way up and then it goes way down. And then, the smart people sell along the way. And then this is where you start building. That's where you start building. This is how every single coin goes ICO. With an airdrop, people sell. People want to make money. That's the way it goes. But my advice, I know you wanted me to make a video on like tips for the bull market, which I think I will, is don't marry bags, man. We're here to make money. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm a day trader. My job. This is my job, is to make money. I don't hold bags, which you'll probably learn about me. And what I mean by that is you got to actively manage your portfolio, man. When one coin's hot, you ride it up, you hop out, and you find the next one. It's that simple. I'm probably not going to have a whole lot of good news on alts today, right? The good news is Bitcoin dominance is down. So it means that Bitcoin's bleeding harder than alts right now. So they might not pull back. Some of them are. I mean, look at Moon's down 20%, but let's just take a look at Kaspa. So Kaspa, kind of got hung up right about that 0.38 resistance level. Couldn't quite make it up. I mean, it looked like we were going to, and then Asia dumped us. We're going to have a crazy week this week. If we start retracing on Kaspa, I would look to that 0.37, 0.35. If it gets really bad and ugly, if Bitcoin starts losing, if Bitcoin goes down to 28, 27, I would expect us to come back down to 0.032 on Kaspa. I don't think this is sounding the alarm. I think this is just a healthy retest of some previous levels. I don't think, like I said, that it's going to get too crazy, pending nothing crazy happens with the FOMC. I mean, as you can see, we're just getting a little bit of a sell-off, right? VWAP's coming down in Kaspa. That's on the 12-hour. Let's look at the 4-hour. Here we go. VWAP's coming down. So people are just taking profits. People are a little shook right now. Bitcoin crash. America woke up, taking some profits. Money flow is starting to come out. I mean, it's just what we don't want to see is some bullish divergences forming or bearish forming. So we don't want to come down and make a lower low. If that does, we could come down even farther. So Kaspa right now, just kind of in retracement territory. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's hanging on pretty strongly. Kaspa can definitely do its own thing. It has been on its own path of pretty much up only. Haven't quite gotten up to that, all-time high retest yet, but we got pretty close. So if we can hang on in this range here, that would be very, very bullish. So taking a look at Doge, this is going to be heavily influenced by the news. You have a tradable channel forming that's making higher highs and higher lows, right? So an ascending wedge. Now, typically this breaks to the downside. So on this pump, are we going to see it kind of bounce around this channel a little bit and then dump? Probably, as people are going to take profits. This is how Dogecoin goes, guys. So we did break to the top side, which is bullish. You can see these levels, which I've had on here for a while now. So do we come up to 0.08? It's possible. It's possible. Off of news. This is going to be a pump-based coin off of news. So if Elon tweets about Doge, or they accept Doge, or they talk about crypto, since he's such a fanboy of Doge, obviously it's going to pump to the top side. So I'm not going to lie. I've made huge bags of money on Doge off of Elon's tweets. I literally have notifications on. Anytime he tweets, I get it. If I see a Dogecoin, I go long, or I'll spot buy a bag on it. It's pretty volatile, so I don't usually trade futures, but I will buy a bag of it, sit on it, let it pump a few percent, or in the past, a lot more than a few percent. I mean, it's gone up crazy. I mean, I caught that initial run up in like 2020, 2021 when he first tweeted about it. I made a killing off of that. So, that's called catalyst trading is what that is. So some key levels here might come back for a 0.07 retest if the market continues down. But if he tweets about it, it's going to go up. I mean, you should be love it or hate it. Since Elon Musk loves it, it's probably going to continue to go up in price. But you can see we've been in this tradable channel now for a while. We slipped it when everything else slipped it, and kind of clawing our way back based off of Elon's news, breaking the channel. Do we hold it or do we come back down? Depends on what Elon does. And look what happened in XRP. It did exactly what I said it was. We're going to go up, and then we're coming back down and testing this kind of 0.067 level. I was talking about this back 2 weeks ago almost. That you have the initial pump up, XRP, pump up news. This is XRP, by the way. And, I said, be careful with XRP after this giant pump, because until we can flip this blue long rectangle here to support, it's going to go down. So we need to flip this to the top side. So if we can't hold 0.6768, we could start retracing this even more, guys. We could come down to that 0.56 level. So hopefully we can hang on here. It looks like we got to bounce off of here. Same place we got to bounce off of Bitcoin, right? We're at 29,104. But if Bitcoin starts coming down, we start going to 28.5, right? We come down to claim some of this liquidity down here. It's going to drag the rest of the market down with it. So XRP, my call is still the same on this till we can flip 0.9131. But I hope you guys took some profits up here. If you're in XRP, I hope you took some profits up here, because I said to. You should have. But it looks like we're holding out here. But does it turn into a flag, a 4-hour flag? If it does, right? We're coming down to this key resistance, 0.6630, going all the way back. We can go to the daily chart and see it. I mean, just big pocket of liquidity here. So that's my call on XRP. Not gonna lie, I think that's gonna do it for today, guys. It's gonna be a crazy week. It's gonna be a week that probably doesn't make much sense. And it's gonna be heavily dependent on what Bitcoin does. You should be charting Bitcoin before you chart anything else. You kind of chart your other coins the same way. Whatever Bitcoin does, the rest of the market is going to do. Today and tomorrow, I don't know that we get huge bullish movement, but look to Wednesday, look to the interest rate meeting, look to the FOMC, the Powell speech, GDP Thursday, and then don't forget about PCE on Friday. It's going to be a spicy week. It's not going to make much sense, not for the faint of heart. Like I said, it's going to be tough to TA a lot of this stuff. It's going to be tough to call it, but at this current pace, current momentum, unless we get just a super dovish mood on Wednesday, the charts, everything tells me we're coming down more. 28.5, 28,000. If we're going to make a run for this liquidity up at 31,000, you need spots. We need spots to step in. We need the whales to step in and defend these levels. It's that simple this week. So I'll be back tomorrow for another video. If something pops off today, if something crazy changes, I'll make a video. If not, I'll post it in Discord. Hop on in, discord.gg/alpha-aere. That's your update for today, guys. Pretty simple today, but it's going to get spicy this week, I promise you. And we'll catch you later.